When you change your internal dialogue, everything's such a mirror. When you change your internal dialogue, you'll start to shift the way that you think, start to shift the way that you feel, and you'll start to create different results for yourself. Your body will feel safer and you'll start to lean towards this rather than leaning away from it. What's up? What's going on? My name is Sabrina and welcome back to the channel. Here in the Better You space, we teach creatives, dreamers, and entrepreneurs how to train their minds to make their daydreams a real daily life. In today's video, I'm talking about why you may be self-sabotaging your dreams and goals so that you can become aware of it and turn that cycle around. If you like what you hear today, please give this video a thumbs up to help out. If you want to see more stuff like this, subscribe and hit the bell button to be notified when I post a new one. Feel free to share this video with a friend and let's get into it. So you want this goal, you want this dream, but you keep self-sabotaging. Why? When you want it so bad. This was me when I first started my business, and it was a pain in the ass. It felt so difficult for me to take any kind of action, and I just kept self-sabotaging. Why? Let me tell you. Your subconscious mind, right, controls 95% of your actions, behaviors, emotions, etc., right? We know this. If you don't know this, you know this now. We have our conscious mind that controls 5% of our habits and actions and behaviors. Our subconscious mind controls 95. When there is an interpretation deeper in the mind that understands that there is some kind of uncomfortableness or danger where your dreams or goals are at, your body will do whatever it can to protect itself. Even if this is perceived danger, this can be literally like, I'm afraid to put myself out on camera because I'm worried what my coworkers will think, or I'm worried about what people from high school will think, or I'm worried about what my family will think, right? This can be such like a perceived danger. And sometimes the people are encouraging you anyway, but it's your mind has this interpretation, this fear of judgment, this fear of, oh, when I create the success, I won't be able to handle it. This fear of, oh, when I go after this, I will make a fool of myself and I will fail. This fear of when I start up this business, it's going to be a whole lot of work and it's going to burn me out, right? There's these different fears, these different worries, these different perceived dangers where we half the time, majority of the time, because this is coming from our subconscious, our unconscious, what we are not conscious of, we aren't even aware of these things going on. We just consciously know we want to do this thing. We want to start this business. We want to start the yoga studio, start this organic brand, whatever it is. Yet we keep self-sabotaging. I want you to ask yourself, to go deeper with this, what bad thing happens when I take action on this? And just sit on it and write down the first things that come up in your mind. Don't even think about what you're writing down. Just start writing down what's coming up for you. What bad thing happens when you go after this? For me, when I did this practice, I had a hell of a lot of things come up. I had like pages and pages of things that came up for me, all the fears and worries and things that my mind interpreted as bad. It gave this like negative meaning towards this thing. And it doesn't mean that this thing isn't supposed to or isn't meant to work out for you, or that your dream is all of a sudden not destined for you just because you have these fears and worries. We've just got to dig a little deeper, work through them, and convince your subconscious mind that it is actually safe and much safer to go after your dream. Like, the reason you feel called to this thing is because it's going to bring so much expansion and joy and abundance and love and fulfillment into your life. You would not be called to something that wasn't going to serve you in all of these ways. But when we have these assumptions and meanings that these bad things are going to happen, unfortunately, because we have this free will, a lot of times we're going to manifest more negative situations when we start to go after them, and things will feel overwhelming. Things will feel out of hand, and it's going to feel a lot of times more difficult. That's why we need to start in the mind. Everything stems from the mind, which is why I'm all about training the mind to turn your dreams into a reality. If there are these fears and worries in your subconscious mind, it is going to be, I don't want to say impossible because never say never, but it will be difficult for you to make this a reality for yourself. Just point blank. That's just how it is. Our minds create our realities. There's so much science backing this up. We can't deny the science. The government has literally written documents about it. So we know this shit is real. So let's start making our mindset work, our mind exercises more of a priority. Let's spend just as much time focusing on our mental diet and our rewiring and programming our minds for happiness and success as we do spending time working out for our body, spending time buying foods that are better for us, cooking healthier meals. We need to start putting much more focus on our mindset because everything stems from the mind. Which, by the way, if you do want to get a lot deeper with this, I am running a full-on workshop where we are going to be diving deep and doing integrative practices for you to uncover what's in the subconscious mind, see it all laid out, and begin to rewire, begin to switch things over, begin to retrain emotional patterns, begin to rewire these neural pathways for your brain, your subconscious mind, to understand that where you want to go can be safe and it will be safe, and you are creating safe and feel good pathways for that so that you can create this natural motivation, so that you don't have to deal with self-sabotage or procrastination or this resistance anymore, because you don't have to. You don't have to. Life can feel good and easy and much more blissful than what you may have been experiencing if you're watching this video. So if you're interested in that workshop, I'll leave the link below. It's called Crafting the Fire Within, because we're crafting this fire within us. That being said, in order to really switch this out, start to really become aware of, okay, what kind of fears are coming up for me, seeing what comes up with that question that we asked earlier, and begin to rewrite the narrative that you have about this thing. So say that you have this, a big one for me that I've talked about a few times on my channel, it was like the fear of judgment. I had this huge fear of judgment, and that was a big thing stopping me. And so rewriting the narrative is just changing the things that you tell yourself about this thing. It's changing the way that you feel about this thing. It's changing the thoughts and the assumptions that you have about this. It's really changing like your self-concept about this, which in my belief is one of the fastest ways to manifest and create change, is working on your self-concept. So when you notice you have this fear, for example, fear of judgment, identify what you want to believe. Identify that supporting belief, that belief and assumption and the thoughts and the emotions that you ideally want to feel, and start just changing the narrative. Start literally just like a snap of a finger, just telling yourself a different story. When you change your internal dialogue, everything's such a mirror. When you change your internal dialogue, you'll start to shift the way that you think, start to shift the way that you feel, and you'll start to create different results for yourself. Your body will feel safer, and you'll start to lean towards this rather than leaning away from it. When you tell yourself, I have an amazing support system, I feel really confident on camera, I'm excited to start this business, it feels amazing to put myself out there, so many people are resonating with my stuff, I love showing myself on social media because I get so much positive feedback. Start telling yourself these positive things, creating this positive connotation, this positive meaning towards your goal, which is the opposite of your fear, and you'll begin to notice the shifts and really allow your emotions to feel into this too. Feel like the excitement and the eagerness towards doing this thing while you're telling yourself this new narrative and creating affirmations that feel really good. And literally you can, rewire and reprogram your fears into supportive beliefs in so many different ways, but you can literally switch out of a fear, telling yourself you don't have this fear anymore. And I know this may sound, some people may say that this is like toxic positivity, and there's such a fine line here, which I understand if people want to say that telling yourself you don't experience this fear anymore is toxic positivity, but I have done this with myself. You just have to be sure that it feels good with you. Sometimes you need to go deeper and work through the fear and work through the different things. But sometimes you can literally just change your internal dialogue, because when you do, when we think about quantum physics, which quantum physics is essentially the science behind the law of attraction, and how quantum physics suggests that there are infinite realities, there is a reality that exists where you do not experience this fear. in turn, you do not experience this self-sabotage. This reality exists. You can tap into this reality now. So when you can start vibrating at that vibrational frequency, aka changing your self-concept, your thoughts, your emotions, your beliefs to align with this, and literally just nonchalantly, lightly, casually telling yourself, oh, I don't have that fear. What fear? What fear of judgment? I don't worry about what other people think of me. I'm confident. If somebody has something to say about me, okay, like I know that that's their thing, their issue. By doing that, you have the potential to tap into this reality where you do not experience this fear. It can happen very quick. I have done this before. I have seen the evidence for myself, so I know this shit works. It can happen very quick. Now, if you're experiencing all of this like angst and anxiety and it's really bad for you, that's when I would say go deeper, do the inner work, do these things. You can do either or. Tune into yourself and see what feels best. But I needed to say that because that is a potential for you to just switch it that quick. That quick. Every new moment is a new opportunity for a new reality. We are constantly changing. But you have to be sure that you hold this new frequency. It does feel good to show up, or whatever is opposite from the fear for you, right? So do those practices, reflect, do this work. Please come back in the comments and let me know how this worked out for you. I'm excited to hear back from you guys because I know this ish works. So again, if you're interested in crafting the fire within, that integrative workshop that goes deep on this, I'll leave the link in the description below. If you're interested in going a lot deeper into one-on-one coaching or in our online signature program, Unleash Your Life, those will also be left below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe and hit the bell button to be notified every time I post a new one. Share this video with someone you feel may want to hear it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.